G'day, punters. Welcome to the Brisbane Breakdown Review Show. I'm your host, James Milner, and joining me is the MacBet boys, John Mcleod and Tommy Henjak. Guys, how are we going?
Hey, James. Tom?
Yeah, good. Thanks, James. Pretty burnt after yesterday, and it was a pretty plain meeting there up at Caloundra, John.
I come home and I was red as a beetroot up there. I couldn't believe. I was trying to work out. I had a few drinks last night, and I was thinking it might have just gone to my head. And I started thinking, well, bloody burnt, not going to the head. So it was a bit strange. Didn't know it was that hot. Didn't realise it.
We didn't quite get burnt on the pun. I think we ended up in front for the day, which was really good. And overall for the week, we've got the results post out there this morning, but massive week for the service, picking up 21 units at 67% ROI. We've cracked the 300 units for the year, winning around 13% there as well. The yard's been strong, 47% in December. Everything seems to be ticking along really nicely, leading into the Magic Millions Carnival. Have we changed anything, or we're just seeing some better horses coming through?
I don't seem to be changing to it. One thing with the yard that I've found is that when you have had 2 or 3 or 4 units on something and it does look quite well on the yard, it's hard to go again. And I really should, and we all should. We're just got to get. It's just hard to get it out of your head what you've done prior, and you just got to go again. It's because it's a completely different setup, and it's just a different type of little punt. So I've got to change the way that I even think about it, sort of thing, with that. But we have been going good. It's been we had a couple of weeks there, a little flatlining, and then we've picked the game up, sort of thing, grabbed the bit and started charging, which is good.
What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think we've definitely been the races we've been deciding to bet into. I think that's been a big difference in what the results have kind of changed the last couple of weeks. And also we have changed one thing in the program. I won't give away what it is, but it's been a big help, I think.
We can bet against the market. That's the big thing, isn't it? So we know what direction the market's going.
Yeah. There's a few times, like the last couple of weeks, where we can see why the early markets are the way they are. And we can definitely see that there's going to be, sometimes there's a big swing around, but sometimes it stays like that. And we're still happy to kind of stay where we're comfortable.
All right, Tom, and there was something that caught your eye up north here at Mackay Race 3. You have put something out on Twitter about it. What happened here?
Yep. So this was last Thursday at Mackay. This is a segment I'm going to kind of make my own going forward. Things that caught my eye. This horse, Cochrane, I think it's running second in the Manzelmann colours, kind of trucking behind the lead there. It's a painful horse. It's actually a full brother to Miami Flies, believe it or not. And he just completely dogs at every start. But in this race, it had nothing really go for it. Manzelmann's got 4 or 5 runners in this race, and you've got the leader there. He's got a 2-kilo claim on it, coming up from 900 metres, and it's gone, on our figures, 6 lengths faster than standard there for the first 700 metres in the race. So she's done it absolutely no favours. And as you can see here, he still looks home, Cochrane. Kind of 100 metres to go, you're thinking there's no way he gets beat from here. He's finally going to break the maiden. Still going. Starts tippy-toeing.
Kicks back.
And he gets done. So you can see there on the line. You can see down the line how many Manzelmann runners there were in the race, and he still hasn't managed to get the chockies. One from a different stable was actually run over the top. Kind of interesting thing there. $3,000 got matched on Betfair at odds of $1.18 or less. So someone's done their absolute balls there and copped it sweet. I guess the interesting thing there in the market, though, is the winner in the second horse, Cochrane, and Better Ask Roy, the market got it completely right. Just singled them out. Cochrane started $2.30, Better Ask Roy started $2.40, and the other Manzelmann runners were all $3 and $5 out to 20. So I'm not sure whether that was a bit of stable money that's gone astray and whether they'll be on a pretty limited diet the next couple of weeks, but it was certainly very tough for Cochrane watchers and backers there, especially with the call.
Let's have a look at race one. Firstly, I think you liked. What did you like out of that one? Smart Meteor.
We're on Smart Meteor here.
Yeah.
This was John's race.
Yeah, this was something that I was a little bit concerned at going to the mile second up. I think it was. And in the yard, I know last time in it was starting to get a little bit light, and it's still got a bit of condition on it. So the horse is going to take improvement, and that's the only reason why I didn't actually go again with this horse, because it was just a little bit not soft, but it had improvement in it. But this race was so bad. Horses in this race were going terrible. Like I think they put up So Taken pretty short, and I was happy to take it on, and Couldn't Refuse is sort of like the mile is a little bit the outer limit of it. We've been on Cosmic Gossip a few times, it's just a gunner. Greek Hero is always going to probably be behind Sweet Meteor. I actually thought Sweet Meteor might have found third on the fence, and it got back a bit. But you can see it in Australia. We're in a little bit of strife here because Greek Hero sort of got about a half a length on it. And we were probably just lucky this horse showed a good turn of foot to get through and punch away. We did save on Greek Hero, which was good. It was a nice watch going to the line. But that third horse is going good. He got up on the fence the other day at Doomben and was held up a bit and ran on, and he's done a good job again. So if he goes back to I think Northern Queensland or whatever it is, or I don't know whether he's going to stay here. He's starting to find some tough races, that horse. But if he goes back to Townsville or one of those places, he'll win.
Yeah, so John, how do you think the track ended up playing in the end? I know going into the meeting, we thought it might be a bit more on pace than what it ended up being.
Yeah, well, it definitely become a run-on track, mid-track. Probably that 3 to 8 lane was the really the big go. And look, we were suggesting that on pace, that 3 to 5 lane was going to be the best. But there was a few races there that they really steamed down the outside. It became we got 3 types of tracks: leaders tracks and average, like normal type of tracks and really run-on tracks. And it's probably become one of those run-on tracks, especially if the pace was up front and they could, get home to that mid-track sort of scenario. So, we were happy. I suppose we were happy as the day went on because there's a few horses there that we thought had a better chance, and I know that was going to run on. Smart Meteor wasn't one because it was going to be third on the fence. That might have made a bit of a difference to me if that race was race 4 or 5, because he would have been stuck on the fence there and I would have been worried.
Yep, we backed Telephone Booth and Indiscreetly. This was just the perfect race here. It kind of panned out exactly how I thought it would. Indiscreetly would find the lead pretty easily for Georgie, and Telephone Booth probably sit outside it. Maximum Output's kind of sitting there 2 pairs back. They're only going really slow, and they're going really slow in front, actually. I think they end up going 7 lengths below standard. I thought Maximum Output, even in a slowly run race, was always going to be a big question mark at the 1,400 metres. And then the cattle behind it who had to make up that ground in a slowly run race, I just don't think they're good enough to do so. Arturo was coming off a very plain run in Sydney. It did have the bias against it that day, but it still had to kind of come from last and see it do it for the first time at Eagle Farm. Veta Velocita was the one I was really happy to be against. It was blessed to start prior, and it just does too much wrong to kind of make up the sectionals that it had to do in the end. And Our Red Planet, it's just a battler as well. I kind of did get Telephone Booth wrong in the end, though. I know it's kind of boxed on there for second still, but John was saying it didn't really take the improvement in the yard. That because we have seen it a few times, definitely last start at Ipswich, but it's kind of it's just a battler, I think. The winner, it's still got a bit of upside, I think. The Danny Bagua runners are going really good recently. It did get control in a slowly run race, but it's got another dominant win. It's gone 2 from 2. Not sure where they go to from here, but yeah, it was a pretty good race in the end. I think we took early odds on Indiscreetly at like 950 and it started 460. So it's always good when you kind of set up a race like that.
Well,
it was good. It went really good though. Also, it's not that far off the bad part of the ground as well, and it really sprinted quickly. And the horse in the yard, he's a nice little type too. He looked well, and there's that horse at the in the Darley colours, or not the Darley colours, the white and the blue back there.
Derby syndications.
Yeah, Derby horses. It hit the line quite well, and it's a nice horse. And he was coming off a wet track, which he didn't handle, and like he made up a fair bit of ground, but he is in that prime part of the track. That's the only question mark, and he was picking up ground on maximum output. As you said, Tom, 1400s, he's out of limit, that horse, and maybe, like maximum output was, our telephone booth was actually gone, and he's kicked back and run second. So something, anything that's just making some sort of ground is going to make ground on those leading or those second group of horses. So it may have looked a little bit better to the eye than what it actually was. Yeah, just a pearl of a ride by Bailey. He's a jockey that I want to have double on. If I like what he's on, I want to put double on, because you just know he's going to ride it perfectly. Like this horse, the one on the inside really hunted through, and any other jockey would have said, okay, I'm on a leader. I want to lead, so I'm going to come out and I'm going to try to cross I think it's a Page horse on the inside, or Page colours. But what he did, he's seen it. He said, okay, I'm on a horse that's going to be a little bit sus the last, 50 metres, so I'll just ease back but they went fairly slow. They've gone about 3.5 lengths slow to the first bit. We've got them going a little bit faster than that, but he just did it, rode it perfect. Gave it a click up, as it straightened, pinched a brake, and was able to hold them off. Now, he's only a pony. He's not much, not real big. If he goes to the Magic Millions or something like that, he's a millions. Because those
you're saying that because you're suspect of him at a fast run 1200. Is that what you're saying?
Well, for even a fast run 1000, I think he's going to be a suspect. A bit of pressure, he's going to be really trouble. And like these two horses that run second and third, they've come out last. You can see that horse, Sweet Exile, out wide. It come out last and then started pig rooting. And he's still run on. And what's he done? He's got beaten a half a length or something. I couldn't believe how close they got to it. Halfway down the straight, I'm saying I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have laid this, and I turned away. And then all of a sudden, they've got pretty close. So I think if Sweet Exile and those other horses would have jumped, they probably would have beaten it anyway, even with this slow run race. So it's a horse I want to put a line through. He's a pony, and he's probably a 900-metre race horse at the coast. When he gets a bit older, that's
Three, the favourite here for the Callaway.
Yeah, I guess the thing as well, you look at his starting price, his first two starts, he went up, started 260 on debut and won, and he started 210 here and won again. He's going to be short again wherever he goes next.
All right. Jumping into race 4, Exo Lady, the Desley Forster runner, got the cash here. Tom, I'll let you talk through.
Yeah, this was my race here. This wasn't a betting race for us. I thought it was very tricky to map. I kind of thought Mcleod would end up finding the lead with, Rosa Shiraz, the Heinrich runner. I had big question marks over that Clounder race that it won last start. I know Honeypot went like a bomb there, and Sneaky Starter came out on the Friday meeting and got the job done, but I just thought that was a really weak race. So I was kind of happy to look around there, but I couldn't really find a bet either. Like you had Mink Star in the red and white Anderson colours, who settled 3 wide, I think, in the second pair. It's run on second off a polytrack win. I thought it's actually gone okay. Exo Lady, I was kind of thinking the early price of 250 was a bit suspect. With the 1,000-metre start at Eagle Farm, you're straight onto the bend, and whether it was going to be caught wide, but they elected to take a sit. And Desley was telling everyone during the week that this horse is going to go better with a bunny, and I guess she was right in the end. It's come away with a pretty soft win.
interesting. This, you know, a lot of these horses on this day sat 3 wide and kept going. It's going to be an interesting try to work out what we do with those horses because, you know, just
you give them a bonus for being wide, but they're in the right part of the track at the same time. It's a very tricky decision to make.
Yeah, that's right. And Mink Stars, you know, if just on face value, it's gone like a bomb, but it's, you know, it has come down that right part of the track, so it's interesting. You know, Exo Lady, it just does everything right. You know, it's sort of there, and it was probably going to improve a little bit in the yard as well. There's one horse there that, geez, a horse called Mouette. It just threw itself on the ground in the yard, and they passed it fit beyond the barriers, and I was happy to bet against, but geez, I was sick in the run. I backed that horse in the yellow sleeves and the red out wide out there to beat it head to head. And all the way down the straight, that's the Gore horse on the inside, and I'm on the yellow sleeves. I'm thinking, is it going to get there? I thought it was 1,000,000 to 1, and then all of a sudden it was all right. So it was. We got a few grey hairs out of that horse, I know that for sure.
Yeah, just a disclaimer. I wasn't there in the yard on Saturday. I was getting written off at the Royal Exchange Hotel, so I've got no insight on what John's seen there on Saturday in the yard.
What was the gig there, Tommy?
We had our Punters Club AGM.
Oh yeah,
and it was quite profitable. So I'll just leave it at that. It was a big night. And, I was pretty dusty yesterday.
The sun up the Sunshine Coast, that'd help. All right.
They did actually.
Let's dive into race 5. Apache Chase got the cash there, $1.30. It was a betting race for us. We had the exacta. I forgot to chuck one on, but it got up.
This is unbelievable. It's like on the way out to watch this race, I thought to myself, I know what's going to happen here. The Quinella is going to pay better than the exacta because everyone's going to not even think about the Quinella. And it actually did. I think it paid $2.40 the Quinella, and the exacta paid $2.30. It's unbelievable with these shorties that they can pay good on the Quinella because everyone just it's not even a thought in their thought process. And I just couldn't bring myself to take the Quinella because, you know, if you're wrong and the other and it pays better, you just say, oh, what an idiot. So, but anyway, this horse, like, I had a look. I had to really, with Apache Chase, to pretty much get it to, you know, an even money shot. You'd have to go nearly around about 8 to 10 lengths worse than it can go. You know, it was unbelievable. You know, the figures.
So when we sent out the sheets, you had it $1. I think it was $1.30 from memory on the sheets, $1.35. So are you saying you could have had it a lot shorter?
Yeah, I could have had it $1.08 or something like that. I think it was, but you know, you just don't want to have them that short just against the rest of them because you're going to have the rest of the horses probably hundreds. You know,
especially after 42 days off, you're kind of umming and ahhing how it's travelled back.
Yeah, but I just wanted to see how far I had to go with it to get it to, you know, the $1.80 even money mark. And God, I had to take, you know, 6-7 lengths off the thing to do it. And I don't think it's gone anything fantastic, but on our figures, it's pretty much gone what it can go, you know. But to the eye with the sectionals and everything, they weren't as good as what I was sort of thinking. They you know, they could have been. But on our figures, they've pretty much run up to, or nearly, I think we've got it rating around about the 101, 102 mark and can go 105. You know, so there's only about a length and a half still that it can go better than that. But, you know, the sectionals were really interesting, you know, that they weren't as good as what I expected.
This is my first time watching the race. I didn't realise how close we got on Pelizaban there. It nearly got run down.
Yeah.
Nervous moment.
Yeah, that was all the way down the straight. I was thinking, like I was thinking about back in Pelizaban, the place. I think $1.60 or $1. I think it was around the $1.60, $1.65. I thought that, you know, it was a really nice bet. But and I thought, well, exactly. If you think the other one's going to win, well, then all it's going to do is try to run second, and you get the 230, 240. So we went the right way.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like, I I know this race gets Apache Chase into the Stradbroke, and kind of thinking, is the improvement there off our ratings to win a Stradbroke next year?
Probably not.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
At this stage, I'm probably saying no.
No.
And if
no.
Des is listening, she's going to blow up Deluxe. She will not be happy.
Yeah, I think this horse is always that horse that can run the third, fourth, fifth in that sort of race. I think, unless some stupid thing happens like those Boom or Spirit of Boom race and Temple of Boom race a few years back, that they walked in front and they just sprinted home. That type of scenario would suit this horse, because he could just go to the front and then just start stepping up, and he'd be hard to run down. But a lot of these horses, like the third horse, Crack RSG, he's no star. Calliope's just won a class 2 or whatever it was at Ipswich the other day. Nothing much, and even Decenifer down the outside, it just looks terrible in the yard. That horse, he just keeps on it. He's still going all right. I'm just waiting for the day that he just looks a bit better, but he has looked terrible.
All right, well, let's dive into race 6 here. Tommy, this was your race. Did you have a bet here at all?
No, we didn't have a bet, actually. It was a tricky race. They ended up, I guess on paper, it kind of worked out how I anticipated. They went pretty hard in front. Expat was always going to go hunting for the lead, and Ingear was going to be up there too. Georgie's Pride did settle further back than I kind of thought, but they were always going to be happy to take the sit, and it's such a fast run race. But Expat was coming off a wet Rose Hill track first up, where there was a massive leaders and rails and run bias. So it was very tricky for us to kind of ascertain how many lengths advantage it had. And I guess it's always hard to penalise a horse that wins first up in the best part of the track, because you don't know how much improvement was kind of there. But I guess I kind of probably should have chucked something on East Asia, the place, at least in the end, given how the race was going to be run. But as John said earlier, Centerfire's kind of showed how advantageous it was to kind of be in those outside lanes. It sat 3 wide midfield, and the leaders have gone 6 lengths faster than standard, and it's clung on there for 4th in a dogfight, kind of like it just kept kicking. It was an enormous run.
That's huge.
It's just a question on how much advantage that the lane it was.
I think it's
gave it.
I think because if there was only one of them or during the day that did it, or 1 or 2 maybe that did it, but there's probably 3 or 4 of them that have done this, and they haven't got that sort of ability. Like Centerfire just can't go with these other horses like Tycoon Evie and Eloquently and all these other horses after sitting 3 and 4 wide.
It sat 3 wide last week at Doomben behind Miami Flies and stuck on for 8th or something. It was a blanket finish, I know, but it's a horse that's really come through the grades and really taken everyone by surprise. What else to say about the others? Nothing really. I think Tycoon Evie's kind of deep into its preparation now, 4th up. I'm not really sure where they go with it. Eloquently, it keeps running enormous. It was in the worst part of the track last week with East Asia. I guess they were the two they were both in the worst part of the track last week, actually. And kind of kicking myself. I think I've definitely missed an opportunity there, especially given the way the race was going to be run. There's always going to be speed on, and the swoopers were going to be suited.
That always looked terrible too, Xbat. He just looked big and gross, and it's going to take plenty of improvement out of that run. But I'd just be interested to see. It's the first time I've seen him, so he might be that type of horse as well. But I wanted to bet around him, but I didn't know where to go. That was my problem.
Yeah. Well, when you take that into context, it's very surprising. Like, if he looked like that this week, 2 weeks ago, what did he look like on a heavy 7 down there at Rose Hill?
Yeah.
All right, jumping into race 7 here at Eagle Farm, we had Totally Charmed take this one out at $5. John, I'll let you tackle this race.
Yeah, this race, I was very happy to take on Shooting for Gold here. I just thought the other day, I was extremely happy to lay it or bet against it because it was playing up bad in the yard prior, and there was only pretty much two chances, Baller and the winner, and then it's gone off in the gates, and we've been left with a big deduction because there was good money for it. Now the money came again. There's a few things that we noticed that we could bet against it again. And as Tom alluded to earlier, it was just something we're looking at that we're happy to bet against it. And I thought it trialled only fair since on the Monday or whatever it was. And I think he just needs to freshen this horse up and give it a little break and try to bring him back, because I don't think he's come to the end of it. There's a bit of sourness about this horse. Even though he looked a bit better in the yard this time, I think there's just a bit of sourness about it. But totally Charm looked absolutely beautiful. Just went good. This horse has gone really good. Simply Fly. And it looked better in the yard too.
Have they worked out that Simply Fly, is it just a get back 1,000-meter horse now? Because it can do a lot wrong in its races, which I think kind of detracts its ability over 1,200 meters, being able to finish off. But when the speed's on over 1,000 meters, it just goes like a bomb, Simply Fly.
Yeah, he has come down that part of the track as well, again, but he's made up good ground on totally impact sort of thing. He's made up, like, what's he, about 2 lengths off him there. Then totally impact's got that real turn of foot. He has got a turn of foot, and he probably pinched him on length. And then at the finish, Simply Fly's coming again. So he's going to be a real tricky horse to work out what to do, Simply Fly, because we've been thinking he's gone, and now they're going to have to ride him really quiet, and so he's going to be giving them start all the time. So on our figures and what we do with those sort of horses, they've got to be flying for us to be on back markers. There's things have got to go there. A lot for them and a lot. And I'd rather bet against him than back him. But he is going good, that horse. He's turned the corner.
And like, to the eye, anyone kind of watching would kind of think that they've gone pretty hard in front. The leaders have knocked up pretty bad, but they didn't actually go that fast. They've only gone 2 lengths quicker than standard in front. What do you kind of make of horses like Kylie's and Sugar Boom going forward?
I think Kylie's is, just didn't come back, just didn't make that trip back. He's got to second, and I was very happy in the run. I thought, this is beautiful. I think Kylie's is, they blew in the market, but I was happy to be on it. I thought this is good. And, shooting for goal and Total the Charm were together there. And I thought they went as good as each other at Caloundra. So I thought, well, one's 5s and one's even. So we've got an even money chance there. So I was happy in the run. But, I think the other horse you were talking about, Sugar Boom, just, just didn't get me in it, I think he's a 900-meter horse, that horse.
Yeah, there'll be a 900-meter race on Magic. Is there a 900-meter race on Magic Millions Day, or is it the week before? That's probably where she'll be going.
Harley Davidson one. What's it called?
Yeah,
The Bat Out of Hell.
The Bat Out of Hell.
It's a great name.
Is that on Magic Millions Day or the week before? I can't remember, but
I
that's
think
probably
it's the
where
week
she'll be
before.
going. And the Odyssey will probably be aimed for something on Magic Millions Day, I'm assuming, as well.
He'd look good. Jeez, it's a lovely horse, that thing.
Yeah.
The Odyssey.
It was only first up there and over 1,000 meters. Look for it over 1,300 meters. Second or third up, I reckon.
All right, let's jump into race 8. Tommy, it's your race. We got Georgie Cartwright riding Garibaldi home for the Gollan camp. What do you think of this one, mate?
Yeah, this was we didn't end up betting into this race. It just came down to where she could get Garibaldi to in the run. Kind of 200 meters in, I think you'd be pretty happy to take any price. Garibaldi, because Garoppolo's given it, 5-6 lengths, and Mass Destruction's giving it 4 lengths. They were never going to be able to run the sectionals home that Garibaldi can. They went about even in front, which I did think they would go, but I kind of thought Dusty Tycoon would find the lead. Jumped well, but Byrne, as he does, he just has a knack of being able to find the lead and take the bull by the horns. Boom Spender, it's a horse that when it finds the lead, it can run a really good race, but when it has to take a sit, sometimes it just completely dogs it. It's hung on there for seconds. Boomtown Lass has actually found some form out of nowhere. It was awful there at the Sunny Coast over 1,000 meters. It sat outside the lead here and actually clung on for force, but all credit to the winner, Garibaldi. It was a pretty good ride, I thought. Just being able to edge off there at the 600, just kind of edging explosive quality out of the way at the right time, and then just giving it the space it needed in the best part of the track. It wanted to duck in there the kind of last 150, and look, I still think there's a few lengths improvement there looking at that, but it was a pretty dominant win in the end.
Yeah, what do you think of Dr. Why Not going into that race, Tom?
Dr. Why Not, it was such a tricky horse to price because I think first up, it was slow away, and it's always tricky with on-speed horses. I don't like them being slow away. I always kind of think there's something going wrong there. They're not kind of all there, I guess. And then second up, he's bucked, and you're just like, it's tricky because you don't know where he's going to map, but he's run on good there from a kind of an unfavourable position. He's kind of caught there on Garibaldi's back. He's a horse that really does prefer to be on speed with clear air and just being able to build into the race, but he's in the wrong part of the track there with Garoppolo. I used to have a bit of a love affair with this Mass Destruction horse, but I'm kind of over it, I think. I can't believe that some people were tipping Mass Destruction over Garoppolo. Like, if you went off the 3-year-old campaign for both, Garoppolo had lengths of improvement over Mass Destruction, in my opinion. He still does a lot wrong, Garoppolo, but geez, once he puts it all together, if he puts it all together, I guess he's going to be some horse.
My problem with that race is that at halfway down the straight, you said, okay, Garibaldi was going to win by 4, and he's come down the right part of the track, and then you've got Dr. Why Not and Garoppolo giving him plenty of start, and they've got within under 2 lengths of him or whatever. It's just I don't think the horse has gone as good as what you'd expect with the speed okay up front. Like we've got to go a little bit faster, and he's come down the right part of the track, and he's gone past Boom Spendo's, just getting the peaking, and then you see Garoppolo and Dr. Why Not coming along the worst part of the track and making ground on it. So, it'll be interesting. I'm not in the ship that wants to be on him again next time, but
yeah. So I guess Garibaldi's won a Class 6 here. There's no, as I said last week with Miami Flyers, there's nowhere to hide now for this horse. He's going to be stepping up into open and listed grade races. It's going to be interesting to see whether he can actually take the next step. I was a little bit in disagreement with John because I think there is improvement there looking at his action. He wants to duck in and do a few things wrong still. So I still think there's something there, but whether he can actually make that next step is another question. I just can't get over last preparation when we had a good crack at him over 1350 and he just didn't run it out. That's a race that stuck in my mind because he just loomed that day and just did not finish off. He was carrying G-Boss, but so
the retirement
take
tour.
that into calculations. Yeah, on his retirement tour.
We'll dive into race 9, the lucky last. Zulu Dancer won here with Frad on board. John, I'll let you take this one.
This was a terrible race, just a shocker. We were really looking for horses. By this stage, they're all running on from the back, getting to that middle track, and we come up with Clearview Star, and I thought Bow Arrow looked beautiful in the yard. I thought Fort Wayne was going to run on the better part of the track. Jacama had a tricky position. He was in the inside there. I was always worried about him. Hidden Eyes was always a concern at the 1300. So we sort of we had something on Clearview Star and Fort Wayne. I was really sick when Bow Arrow loomed. Bow Arrow is that horse in the blue pushed wide by Fort Wayne. Because of the bad gate, I thought, he's just going to be real bad. position, but he looked beautiful in the yard. It's the fittest I've seen him. And here, he just loomed to win. And then the other horse, Zulu, got to the right part of the track and zoomed down the outside. You can see Fort Wayne inside of him. They're running on. Back on the inside, you've got Clearview Star, who's trying to run on in that bad part of the track, and did a good job. He just got himself in a little bit of strife, Thompson, on that one. He just couldn't get clear air, more or less.
I don't think I've ever seen Robbie Fradd try so hard to win a race in my life. He's actually riding it out.
You got to be careful there, James. Jeez. I mean, this is the perfect example of how much advantage it was to get to those outside lanes for me. This horse has started 30-1 in its last 3 starts, and it started 30-1 here again in weaker grade than this, and it still managed to get the job done with authority. It's such a hard horse to catch. Obviously, it won first up, so I guess maybe it's come back a better horse this preparation. But geez, it's hard to follow anything out of this race, I think, with any conviction.
Yeah, the sectionals, I'll say that too. They're terrible. All of these are Gold Coast horses, midweek horses, if that. So, I think they've all got to go back there. I think you can bet comfortably against a lot of these horses. Maybe, those sort, like a horse like Chakama and Clearview Star back to the midweek, so I wouldn't mind throwing something on them.
We won't be back in Fort Wayne wherever it goes. I think when John sent out the units, I've sent him a text straight away saying you're off your head. Don't do it.
Yes, it was. I thought of it, and I thought I'm going to cop the pain here. But I said, if I don't put this up, if I don't have something on it wins now, I'll be absolutely sick. So
I would have copped it if he had one.
Dear. Anyway, it was a good day, but we had a good day up there. So and we nearly got the chocolates yesterday. I probably made a blue with one of those horses of Will's. He went really good. His horse about the second last race and just played up a lot going on the track, and he wouldn't get around to the barriers. And we finished up having a half a unit each way. A horse around to the $16 or $18, and it finished up running second. So we didn't do any harm.
You said you were going to maybe throw a bomb from the yard. Did there something not impress you there? I was sort of waiting with my finger on the trigger.
Well, it was the race I really wanted to play on was the one that we had 1 unit on, the shorty around 230 or 240, and I wanted to have more on it, and there was another horse in the race that we threw a half a unit on that I thought trial really good, and it's gone good, and I was just going to up the ante on both of them, but the winner, it was only a light little frame thing, and there was a headwind there yesterday that was going to be a problem for it, and going from 1,000 to the 1,200 with the headwind, it was a concern, and so I just had to backpedal. If it wasn't the headwind, and I might have punched up a little bit more, but the horse that we backed the half a unit on at the good odds, I think everyone will know what horse that was. It's one of Heathcote's, so I just can't remember.
Yeah, Eureka's Victory.
Yeah, it's a horse that you can follow. I think he'll win a maiden pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah, I just think in the end the track ended up playing a bit differently than what we thought, and just seeing them in the yard, it was a pretty plain meeting in the end, and we weren't going to force anything. So
yeah, that's been a good month, and we just got to.
Sorry, James.
No, that's all right, mate. I'll shut up. I'll let the experts do the talking. I was just going to pump up the week ahead of us. I haven't had a good look at the schedule, but I'm sure there's plenty of racing around. And yeah, guys, make sure you head to.
I think we've got. I've got off the top of my head, mate.
Oh yeah,
we got Kilcoy tomorrow. We got Kilcoy tomorrow. I don't think we're doing anything though.
No.
We'll be doing Ipswich Wednesday.
Yep.
There he goes.
Dolby's on Thursday. We won't be doing anything for that. Well, I hope not.
We might look at it. We might look at a couple of races. If there's something there, we might put it out. But we won't be I don't think we'll be doing the whole meeting. But Sunshine Coast on Friday, that seems a good meet.
Yeah, that's a happy hunting place. That's my happy place there.
Yeah, there's one horse there that will be winning. Just a matter of if it gets the right jockey on it. I don't want to see the same jockey. Just close your eyes.
Hide under the table.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Then we've got Eagle Farm on Saturday. Back to headquarters.
Beautiful.
Too good. Well, big week ahead, guys. Make sure you head to macbet.com.au for all our information. A weekly or a monthly subscription will get you access to the yard from the boys here. And we've had a pretty good year. We've only got a little bit left, and it's been a really good result. Hopefully we'll just continue our momentum over through into Magic Millions. And if you guys want to see anything else from us on this show, we're pretty open to any sort of ideas. So feel free to leave us a comment or send us a message about what you want to see from the boys, what questions you want me to ask them. But apart from that, that's probably about all from us. Anything else from you boys?
That's probably one thing we can do is just before we do the video on the Monday, early, we can probably send out see if anyone wants ask any questions sort of thing, and we'll try to answer them. Round of where it's about 6 o'clock or something, 6:30 now, but we'll probably be doing the video around this time all the time.